So I know that during COVID and immediately after COVID, all of the refineries and mints around the world saw this huge surge. We came out of this period in 2017, 2018, 2019, where the industry was very slow. There was a lot of money pouring into Bitcoin and real estate and equities. But through COVID, with this flight to safety, the metals business was booming. And I imagine that was part of the launch pad for Ital to really start branding in regions that were, as we said earlier, not as familiar with the brand. So can you talk a little bit about that and sort of what your mission is now as a mint going forward?
Yeah, so that's correct. Most of like our expansion in the US happened during COVID, and after like we noticed like this huge demand of silver, like I would say almost unprecedented demand of silver in the US, and that's how we started. But again, as you said, we were not very well known. So, but still, I think we have the capacity to supply to this demand.
You know, I think oftentimes for investors in precious metals, they're thinking, well, the only available silver is what's coming out of the mines. Well, actually, there's a lot of metal that is being recycled. And if you're sitting in the sweet spot of that, it provides a great pool of raw material for finished production.
Correct. Exactly. So all of these things considered, this gives us like the possibility to actually reply to this demand in the US. And this is actually what I'm trying to do now, being here with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Have you found that this has fulfilled your professional goals and, you know, where your career has taken you?
Honestly, I think it does. Like, again, I would have never expected that I would be working in precious metals. I thought that I would be outside of Arezzo, outside of like this small niche market. But actually, I'm finding out that this is what I really like, what I really enjoy. And I enjoy traveling. This brought me to shoot in Texas. How many people can say they've been doing that? And this is also like bringing me to learn more about precious metals, because honestly, as I was saying before, I didn't know much about the value of like the investment for the end consumers. Now I started working with Italpreziosi, I started like researching, I started understanding like and getting passionate about it. Like getting generally passionate about the investment products, like the value that they have for the people to like protect their like purchasing power and to like against inflation. That this is something that I started to appreciate just as I started this job.
If you're having a conversation with a young woman in the US or in Italy and she's 17, 18 years old, what advice would you have for her as, you know, lessons learned over the last decade here in business?
So I would tell her to like travel as much as she can and to take everything that she can, like to do every experience, to like try to get out of the comfort zone. I know this sounds stereotypical, but that's true. That's from like conversations with people abroad, meeting other cultures, talking to people. This is what really has been enriching me way more than reading, way more than studying by itself.
Was it intimidating for you not having a financial background, instead having, you know, more of a linguistic background and, you know, obviously you had a little bit of exposure to jewelry, but now you're going to these major precious metals conferences where there's a lot of trading that's taking place, and there's terminology that is its own language that you have to learn. It's like just another one of your...
You really hit the spot there. Yes, I was very scared, and I'm still scared. Like every time I walk in a room, I still feel the pressure. Like I know that people I'm talking to, like you, they're great professionals. They've been spending like their lives, many times their lives in this field, and I still feel that pressure. But again, I feel like everyone has always been very helpful. Actually, in this industry, I've been supported by these professionals to learn. And yes, I think this part of the process, just to be scared and go with the flow.
I was speaking with David Henry a few podcasts ago, and we were talking about fear and how important it is to overcome fear and how it inhibits you in your professional growth and your personal growth. and how rewarding and fulfilling it is when you overcome that fear. And it reminds me a little bit of this morning. There's trepidation handling this really large gun for the first time, and
True.
what is it going to be like, and am I going to hurt myself, or am I going to hurt someone else? And you have all these thoughts that go through your mind, and then when we were done at the range, you were just grinning ear to ear and how much fun that you had. And it seems like that's a metaphor for life and the experiences that you have, is just to overcome that fear and to sort of just just do it.
It is, exactly. And these go back to what we were saying before, like maybe me a few months ago, I would have said, I would never, no, thank you, I will not shoot. No, thank you, I will not do the podcast. Mm-hmm. But just with this philosophy, like just to take as much as you can, make as more experiences as you can. That's what's really like what I would feel like saying to like a young female professional, just do it and go with it. You'll learn and you'll grow.